5 years from retirement? Do these 7 things now. Are you 5 years away from retirement? Maybe you're 55, 60, 62, or even 65, and you're starting to ask yourself a serious question. Am I really ready to retire? Maybe you look at your savings and think you should have saved more. Maybe you still have a mortgage. Maybe you have credit card debt. Or maybe you've been working for 30 or 40 years, but nobody ever showed you how to turn all those years of working into a retirement income plan. If that sounds familiar, don't panic, but don't ignore it either, because the 5 years before retirement could be some of the most important financial years of your life. Today, we're going to talk about 7 things you should consider doing before you retire. And stay with me until the end, because I'm going to give you a simple retirement test that could reveal whether you're financially prepared to stop working. Welcome back to Money Smart Basics. My name is Alfonso Brooks-Bay, where our mission is simple, helping you make smarter financial decisions for retirement and beyond. If you're approaching retirement, already retired, or simply trying to get your financial house in order, you're in the right place. Now let me ask you something. When you think about retirement, what concerns you the most? Is it running out of money, healthcare, Social Security, debt, or simply wondering whether you've saved enough? Think about your answer, because that's where your retirement plan should begin. Let's get started. Know what retirement will actually cost. The first thing you need to know is surprisingly simple. How much does your life cost? Not what you earn, not how much is in your 401k. How much does it actually cost you every month to live? Suppose you bring home $6,000 a month while you're working. That doesn't necessarily mean you need $6,000 a month in retirement. Maybe your actual household expenses are $4,000, or perhaps they're $5,500. You need to know. Start thinking about housing, utilities, transportation, food, insurance, taxes, healthcare, entertainment, travel, and debt. And don't forget the expenses that don't happen every month. A roof, a furnace, car repairs, dental work, property taxes. Those expenses can still show up after the paycheck stops. So here's the question. If your paycheck stopped tomorrow, how much would you need every month to maintain your lifestyle? That number is one of the foundations of your retirement plan. Take a serious look at debt. Now let's talk about something that can follow you straight into retirement. Debt. Imagine 2 people retiring with exactly the same $4,500 monthly retirement income. One has a $1,500 mortgage payment, 2 car payments, and credit card debt. The other has a paid-off home, a paid-off vehicle, and very little consumer debt. They're receiving the same income, but are they experiencing the same retirement? Probably not. That's why the years before retirement can be a great time to look seriously at debt. I'm not saying everybody has to enter retirement completely debt-free. Every financial situation is different. But ask yourself, how much of my future retirement income is already promised to somebody else? Your mortgage company, credit cards, car loans, personal loans. Every dollar committed to debt is a dollar you don't have available for something else. Reducing those obligations can give your retirement income more breathing room. Build your cash reserves. Here's a story. Let's call our couple Robert and Linda. They're preparing for retirement and feel pretty good about their situation. Robert has a retirement account. Linda has Social Security. They've paid down most of their debt. Then, 6 months after Robert retires, the air conditioning system goes out. A few months later, they have a major car repair. Then comes an unexpected dental bill. None of these expenses by themselves destroys their retirement. The problem is that Robert and Linda didn't keep enough cash available. So they start pulling money out of their retirement investments every time something happens. That's exactly what you want to think about before retirement. Your emergency fund doesn't stop being important because you've retired. In many cases, it becomes even more important. While you're working, an emergency might be followed by another paycheck. In retirement, replacing that money may be more difficult. Ask yourself, if I had a $5,000 or $10,000 emergency shortly after retiring, where would the money come from? You should know the answer before the emergency happens. Understand your Social Security decision. Social Security can become one of the foundations of retirement income. But don't think only about the size of the first check. Think about the role Social Security will play throughout your retirement. Ask yourself, when should I claim? What other income will I have? What happens to our household income if one spouse dies? And most importantly, am I expecting Social Security to support a lifestyle it was never designed to support by itself? For many retirees, Social Security works alongside pensions, retirement accounts, savings, investments, part-time income, or other sources. Your goal should be to understand how those pieces work together. Retirement planning isn't just about building a pile of money. Eventually, it's about creating reliable income. Section 5. Prepare for healthcare. Now let's discuss an expense people can underestimate: healthcare. When you're working, your employer may be paying part of your health insurance. Once you retire, that picture can change. You need to understand Medicare. Premiums, deductibles, prescription costs, supplemental coverage, and potential long-term care expenses. Here's an important question. What happens to my retirement plan if my healthcare costs are higher than expected? Don't wait until retirement to start thinking about that. Healthcare needs to be part of the budget before you leave the workforce. And remember, healthcare isn't only about insurance premiums. There can be dental expenses, vision expenses, hearing expenses, medications, and services that aren't completely covered. Build some flexibility into your plan. Think about income, not just savings. This is where I think many people make a mistake. They spend decades asking, how much have I saved? That's important. But as retirement gets closer, another question becomes just as important. How much income can my assets reasonably provide? Having $300,000 in retirement savings sounds like a number. But what does that number mean for your monthly lifestyle? How much can you withdraw? How long does the money need to last? What happens during a bad stock market? Where will your income come from? Maybe you have Social Security. Maybe you have a pension. Maybe you have retirement investments. Maybe you have rental income. Maybe you continue working part-time. The important thing is understanding your income system. Because you don't buy groceries with your net worth. You buy groceries with cash flow. Your retirement plan needs to eventually answer, where is my monthly income going to come from? Decide what retirement actually means to you. Finally, retirement isn't just a financial decision. It's a life decision. What are you retiring to? Think about that. After you've spent decades waking up for work, suddenly you have Monday through Friday available. What will you do with that time? Travel? Volunteer? Spend time with grandchildren? Start a small business? Work part-time? Serve in your church or community? Learn something new? Sometimes, people spend so much time preparing financially for retirement that they forget to prepare mentally and emotionally. Your retirement plan should include more than a bank account. It should include a purpose. Because the goal isn't simply to stop working. The goal is to build a life that you can afford and enjoy. The retirement test. Now here's the retirement test I promised you. Before you retire, consider doing a retirement income test drive. Let's say you've calculated that your retirement income will be approximately $4,000 a month. While you're still working, try living on that amount. Not for 1 week. Try it for several months if possible. Pay your normal bills, buy your groceries, put gas in the car, handle entertainment, deal with the unexpected expenses, and save the additional income you're earning instead of spending it. Then ask yourself, can I comfortably live this way? You may discover that you're ready. You may discover that your budget needs adjusting. Or you might discover that working another year or two could significantly improve your situation. Wouldn't you rather discover that while you're still receiving a paycheck than 6 months after you've retired? Conclusion. If you're 5 years away from retirement, you still have something incredibly valuable: time. Maybe you don't have 30 years. Maybe you don't have 20, but you have today. And what you do during these final working years can make a meaningful difference. Know your expenses. Review your debt. Strengthen your cash reserves. Understand Social Security, prepare for healthcare, build an income strategy, and decide what kind of retirement you're actually trying to create. Don't compare your retirement journey to somebody else's. Your numbers are your numbers. Your lifestyle is your lifestyle. And your retirement plan needs to work for you. The important question isn't, should I have started earlier? The better question is, what can I do with the time I have left? That's a question you can do something about today. CTA, now I want to hear from you. How many years are you from retirement? Are you already retired? 1 year away? 5 years? 10 years? And what is your biggest retirement concern right now? Social Security, healthcare, debt, housing, or making your money last? Leave your answer in the comments because your question may become the topic of an upcoming Money Smart Basics video. And if this video helped you think differently about preparing for retirement, please like the video and subscribe to Money Smart Basics. We're building a community focused on making smarter financial decisions before and during retirement. Remember, retirement shouldn't just be something that happens to you. It should be something you prepare for. Thank you for watching Money Smart Basics, and I'll see you in the next video. The information provided in this content is for educational and informational purposes only, and should not be considered financial, legal, or tax advice. Always consult with a qualified financial advisor, tax professional, or legal counsel before making any financial decisions. The creator of this content is not responsible for any actions taken based on the information provided. Investments and financial decisions carry risk, and past performance does not guarantee future results.